IELTS Speaking Part 1. Talents. Question 1. Do you have a talent, or something you are good at? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, I think I'm good at drawing. I started doing it in school, and people said I was quite good. I enjoy it very much. Band 7 answer. Yes, I believe my talent is drawing, especially sketching with pencils. I discovered this when I was in middle school. My classmates often asked me to draw things for school projects, and I felt confident doing it. Band 8 answer. Yes, I would say I have a natural talent for drawing, particularly when it comes to sketching portraits and scenes. I first noticed this skill in my early teens when I started drawing for fun, and soon people around me began to compliment my work. Since then, I've practiced regularly, and I now see drawing as both a hobby and a personal strength. Question 2. Was it mastered recently or when you were young? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I learned it when I was young, maybe around 12 years old. I like drawing cartoons and pictures from books. Band 7 answer. I developed this talent during my childhood. When I was around 12, I spent a lot of time drawing comic characters and scenes from movies, and over time, I improved by watching videos and practicing. Band 8 answer. I began honing this skill in my early teenage years, and although I had a natural inclination for it, I continued to develop it through practice and feedback. It wasn't something I mastered overnight. It took years of sketching, studying techniques, and even joining art clubs to refine my talent. Question 3. Do you think your talent can be useful for your future work? Why? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, I think so. Maybe I can use it if I work in design or something with art. It could be useful in the future. Band 7 answer. Yes, I think my drawing skills could be helpful in the future, especially if I work in a creative field like advertising, graphic design, or animation. These areas often need people who can express ideas visually. Band 8 answer. Absolutely. I believe my drawing ability can be a valuable asset in many creative industries such as illustration, marketing, or even architecture. Visual communication is a powerful tool, and being able to convey complex ideas through sketches or designs can give me an edge in fields that value innovation and creativity. Question 4. Do you think anyone in your family has the same talent? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, my sister is also good at art. She likes to paint and is very creative. We both enjoy drawing at home. Band 7 answer. Yes, my sister also has a strong artistic side. She prefers painting with watercolors, and we sometimes work on art projects together. I think maybe we both got it from our mother, who liked to draw too. Band 8 answer. Yes, actually, artistic ability seems to run in my family. My sister is passionate about painting, especially using watercolors, and my mother used to draw in her spare time as well. We often exchange ideas and even critique each other's work. Having family members with similar talents has created a supportive and inspiring environment for me to grow. IELTS Speaking Part 2. An important text message. Describe an important text message you received. You should say, who sent the message? What was in the message, why the person sent the message, and explain why the message was important to you. You have 1 minute to prepare. You have 2 minutes to talk. Model answer. Band 6 answer. One important text message I got was from my friend Anna. She sent it to me last year when I was feeling sad. In the message, she said she believed in me and that I shouldn't give up. It was short, but it made me feel better. I think she sent it because she knew I was having a hard time with school and exams. The message was important because it helped me feel stronger and reminded me that someone cared. I saved the message and read it again when I feel down. It's not long, but it meant a lot to me. After reading it, I felt less alone and more motivated to study. I didn't reply right away because I was emotional, but later I thanked her and told her how much it meant to me. I think sometimes even a simple message can really change your mood. I don't often keep messages, but this one is still on my phone today. It reminds me how a friend can make a difference. Band 7 answer. An important text message I received was from my best friend Anna during my final exam week in college. At that time, I was extremely stressed and felt I couldn't manage all the studying. One evening, Anna sent me a thoughtful message. In it, she reminded me of all the hard work I had done and told me to stay calm and believe in myself. She also added some funny emojis to lighten the mood. She sent it because she had noticed I was very anxious, and she wanted to encourage me. The message was important to me because it gave me a sense of support and motivation. I didn't expect that a short text could make such a big difference in how I felt, but it did. It helped me face the exams with more confidence. I remember reading that message a few times before going to bed, and each time, it helped me calm down. It reminded me that someone believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. That's why this message stood out to me more than others. It wasn't just words, it was kindness when I needed it most. Since then, I've tried to do the same for others when I feel they're going through a hard time. Band 8 answer. An important text message I received was from my best friend Anna, and it came at a time when I truly needed emotional support. It was during my final semester at university, and I was under immense pressure preparing for my thesis defense. I had just received critical feedback from my professor and was feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. Out of the blue, Anna sent me a long and heartfelt text. In her message, she reminded me of how far I had come, and how capable I was of handling challenges. She also shared some encouraging quotes and even included a few inside jokes to make me smile. I believe she sent the message because she knew I was struggling silently, and she wanted to be there for me without being intrusive. What made this message so significant was not just the content, but the timing and the emotional reassurance it brought. I remember reading it several times that night, and it genuinely shifted my mindset. It reminded me that I wasn't alone, and that there were people cheering for me. That message became a turning point in my attitude, and I still keep it saved on my phone today. Interestingly, that message taught me something deeper. It showed me how much impact our words can have, even through a screen. Since then, I've become more mindful about checking in on others, especially when I sense someone might be going through a rough time. A text may seem small, but in that moment, it was exactly what I needed. IELTS Speaking Part 3. An important text message. Question 1. Why do some people dislike using text messages? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Some people don't like using text messages because they think it is not personal. They prefer to talk face to face or on the phone. Also, some older people may not know how to use texting very well, so they avoid it. Band 7 answer. Some people dislike text messaging because they feel it lacks emotional connection. When you send a message, the other person can't hear your tone of voice, so it can be misunderstood. Also, for older generations, texting can feel unfamiliar or too fast-paced. They often prefer more traditional ways of communicating, like phone calls or face-to-face conversations. Band 8 answer. There are a few reasons why people might dislike using text messages. First, the absence of tone and body language can make it hard to interpret emotions or intentions, leading to confusion or miscommunication. For instance, a sarcastic comment might be taken seriously when read as text. Secondly, for older people or those not very tech-savvy, texting may feel inconvenient or impersonal. Lastly, some individuals feel that texting encourages shallow conversations, rather than meaningful dialogue. Question 2. Have the ways that people communicated with each other changed much in the last few decades? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, communication has changed a lot. Before, people used to talk face-to-face or send letters. Now, people use phones, texts, and social media. It is much faster now. Band 7 answer. Yes, communication has changed significantly. In the past, people relied on letters or landline phones to stay in touch. These days, we have instant messaging, video calls, and even voice assistants. The speed and convenience of communication have improved, but I think it has also made some interactions feel less personal. Band 8 answer. Absolutely, the way people communicate has undergone a massive transformation in recent decades. In the past, people had to wait days or even weeks to receive a reply via letter, but now, we can send messages and get responses within seconds through messaging apps or email. Moreover, video calling platforms like Zoom or FaceTime have made long-distance conversations more visual and engaging. However, this convenience comes at a cost. Some people feel that digital communication has made conversations less thoughtful and more rushed, as people often respond impulsively without much reflection. Question 3. Why do people prefer texting as compared to phone calls? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Texting is faster and easier. People can text anytime, even when they are busy or in a quiet place. It doesn't take much time. Band 7 answer. Texting is preferred by many people because it allows for flexibility. You can reply whenever you have time, which is helpful when you're at work or in a meeting. Also, some people feel more comfortable expressing themselves in writing than speaking over the phone. Band 8 answer. Many individuals prefer texting over phone calls for several reasons. Firstly, texting offers more control over the timing of communication. You don't need to respond immediately, which is ideal for busy schedules or introverted individuals who may feel anxious about phone calls. Secondly, texting allows people to carefully consider their words before responding, making it easier to communicate clearly. Lastly, for some, texting feels less invasive than a phone call, especially in situations where privacy is limited or interruptions would be inconvenient. Question 4. Do you think modern technology has any negative influence on communication? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, sometimes people use phones too much and don't talk face to face. This can make people feel lonely. Also, young people may use bad spelling or short words when texting. Band 7 answer. Yes, I think modern technology has some negative effects. While it makes communication faster, people sometimes rely too much on it and lose their ability to talk in person. Also, spending too much time on phones can reduce the quality of family time and face-to-face conversations. Band 8 answer. Modern technology has undoubtedly improved the speed and accessibility of communication, but it does have its downsides. For instance, people may prioritize digital interactions over real-life conversations, which can weaken social bonds and reduce emotional connection. Additionally, constant notifications can make it hard to stay present in conversations. Another concern is the rise of miscommunication due to autocorrect errors or the lack of context in written messages. Overall, while the benefits are clear, it's important to use technology mindfully to maintain healthy communication habits. Question 5. What do you think are some of the main differences between written communication and spoken communication? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Written communication is more formal and careful. Speaking is faster and more natural. In writing, we can think more before we say something. Band 7 answer. One major difference is that written communication gives you time to organize your thoughts, so it's usually more structured and formal. On the other hand, spoken communication happens in real time and includes things like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice, which can help people understand the speaker better. Band 8 answer. Written and spoken communication differ in several significant ways. Writing allows for greater precision and permanence. People often plan and edit their words carefully, making it suitable for formal settings such as business or academic communication. Conversely, spoken communication is more spontaneous and dynamic. It includes nonverbal cues like tone, pitch, and gestures, which help convey emotion and intent. However, because spoken words disappear after they're said, misunderstandings can happen more easily if someone misses part of the conversation. Ultimately, both forms have their strengths and should be used depending on the context and purpose.
Congrats on making it to the end of this video, and kudos to you if you did all that practice. You are amazing. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And you can also add my official LINE account that's in the profile. And if you do this, then I can send you a free phrases guide that you can use for your practice. All right, happy studying. See ya.